Welcome to the Case Study Series in Business Ethics by Skilled MBA. Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie presents a compelling narrative that explores the interplay between leadership, integrity, and moral courage. Through the protagonist's journey, the novel sheds light on the ethical dilemmas faced within family, religion, and society, offering rich parallels to challenges encountered in business leadership. As characters wrestle with personal values and societal expectations, readers gain insight into how ethical decision-making is often shaped by power dynamics, cultural influence, and individual conviction. This case invites reflection on how moral leadership must evolve under pressure. Fiction in business education uncovers leaders' inner struggles, often hidden in traditional case studies. Literature like Purple Hibiscus highlights ethical gray areas where values clash in complex ways. Stories allow us to explore the interplay of power, identity, and silence in leadership, serving as a tool for assessing personal and professional integrity. Set in post-colonial Nigeria, Purple Hibiscus follows 15-year-old Eugene Achike. Despite a privileged exterior, her life is marred by fear and domestic abuse. Her father, Eugene, is a wealthy, devout Catholic and respected leader. The contrast between his public persona and private actions is central to our ethical exploration. Eugene Achike embodies a leadership paradox. Publicly, he's a generous philanthropist, respected publisher, and principled Catholic. Privately, he's a controlling patriarch, perpetrating violence and emotional abuse, justified by his righteousness. This duality reflects leaders who excel professionally, yet falter ethically, highlighting the complex interplay between public image and private reality. Exploring leadership development, we see how integrity can be compromised by rationalization. Eugene's religious devotion, intended for good, becomes a tool for control. Silence versus speaking up highlights the risks of defying power, as family members face consequences. Eugene's divided life underscores the need for aligning personal ethics with public actions, revealing his contradictory behaviors. Teaching moral complexity involves facilitating uncomfortable conversations, creating safe spaces for exploring ethical dilemmas without clear solutions. Developing empathy is crucial for understanding challenges within flawed systems. Recognizing blind spots helps leaders identify their own moral vulnerabilities and biases, preparing them to navigate complex ethical landscapes effectively. In the novel, family members' silence about Eugene's abuse mirrors organizational dynamics where misconduct persists unchallenged. Fear, power imbalances, and cultural norms perpetuate this silence. Leaders must reflect on the silence they enable within their organizations, questioning how these factors might be influencing their own environments. Eugene's leadership is shaped by colonial legacy, as he adopts Western religion, rejecting traditional practices. The Catholic Church grants him moral authority, which he uses to dominate his family. Nigeria's political instability further empowers him, while patriarchal structures reinforce his control over his wife and children, highlighting the complex interplay of culture and power. Eugene's newspaper stands as a beacon against government corruption, showcasing his professional courage. Despite threats and the murder of his editor, he remains steadfast in his principles. However, this same rigidity turns tyrannical at home, where he enforces moral standards through violent control, highlighting a stark contradiction in his understanding of integrity. Eugene's power grew incrementally, fueled by success and authority, leading to control. His self-righteousness justified harmful behaviors, believing in moral superiority. This compartmentalization allowed double standards, applying different ethics in public and private spheres. Such dynamics highlight the psychological complexities of power and its potential for corruption. Aunty Ifeoma exemplifies a leadership style that values open dialogue and questioning, fostering an atmosphere of freedom even with limited resources. She balances tradition with modernity and faces challenges with resilience. Her home becomes a sanctuary for Kambili and Jaja, promoting healing and growth through her nurturing approach. Breaking toxic cycles begins with recognizing harmful patterns. Empowering voices to challenge abuses of power is crucial. Building communities that prioritize authenticity fosters transformation. New leadership models should focus on empowerment rather than control, promoting a culture of growth and resilience. Leaders must engage in self-examination to ensure their public persona aligns with private actions. Conduct cultural assessments to evaluate if your leadership fosters fear or psychological safety. Ethical decision-making is crucial. Discern when to challenge systems and when conformity is necessary for effective leadership. Eugene might justify his actions through rationalizations like prioritizing results over ethics. His family's price for his success could include personal sacrifices and strained relationships. Cultural contexts influence acceptable leadership behaviors, often mirroring toxic organizational leadership. Organizations can foster environments to challenge harmful leaders, emphasizing our responsibility to address leadership failures when observed. Literature reveals leadership as a moral practice, demanding ongoing reflection. It challenges us to consider the ethical dimensions of leadership beyond mere skills. This perspective encourages leaders to engage in self-examination and moral reasoning, fostering a culture of integrity and accountability within organizations. Thank you for joining Skilled MBA in exploring literature as a lens for ethical leadership. Email support@skilledmba.com, mobile +91 87553 0795, website www.skilledmba.com.